Hey guys, Eric with HBE Leatherworks again. I'm gonna make a video. I know, I'm sorry, I apologize. It's been like a year and a half since we put a video on the channel. My videographer, her, has been under the weather. So anyway, we're gonna do a video on retention. Not only what holsters have retention, how you get retention, what affects retention, what holsters should have less retention, etc., etc., etc. And the reason I'm doing this is I had a customer in California, a client, excuse me, who wanted some retention in some pocket holsters. And normally, pocket holsters do three things: they keep the gun in place, they keep it clean, and they just keep it accessible. So, anyway, I thought it was strange that he wanted retention in pocket holsters, but everybody's different, and that's why I do custom leather work, is because we are all different. So anyway, okay, why do we need retention in a holster? If we didn't have retention, the gun would fall out, okay? Now, with inside the waistband holsters, you want less retention. In fact, when an inside the waistband holster is broken in, you should be able to shake it and the gun moves around and comes out. Just to show you, this is clear. Anyway, even though it only has a little bit of retention, if you listen, it still clicks in place. It has tons of retention. Now, an inside the waistband holster needs about 40 to 50% of the retention as an outside the waistband, because the pants and the belt are adding pressure to that as it's being worn. So if you put outside the waistband retention on an inside the waistband holster and then added that added pressure to it, you'd never get the gun out. So anyway, in my molding videos, I'm sure if you've seen them, there's only two places on a leather holster where retention really is molded into the holster every time. And that's in the ejection port and in the trigger guard, front and back. I put these little divots in it to add a little more retention. But also there are other things that can affect retention. Now, for an outside the waistband holster, the only thing holding that gun in place is the leather. So, which brings me to another point. Why do we need gun belts? Okay? People think it's because it's a heavy gun or it helps hold it close to the body, and those are two valid points. But the purpose for a gun belt for an outside the waistband holster is this thing's job is to keep that gun in place. It should not let it move, okay? That's its only purpose in life. So as you draw that gun, as you get a purchase on it and start the presentation, okay, the holster should say, sorry, but then your arm overpowers that. Now, if you have an insufficient belt, okay, if you get over 3/4 of an inch or an inch of rise out of that holster before it lets your gun loose, then you need a new belt, okay? Torsional rigidity. Let me show you. Torsional rigidity like this keeps that holster in place and allows the gun to come out as you need it, when you need it. Okay. Anyway, that's what gun belts are for. Now, because an outside the waistband holster needs more retention, it's typically made out of a denser material or a thicker material. Okay. Now, thicker, this is made out of 7 to 8 ounce Herman oak cowhide. It's perfect for a medium size outside the waistband. This, same thing. This is a 1911 holster. Okay. Now, you can alter the holster. This is an Askins for a PCR. Now, this has a speed cut in it to accommodate an optical sight, an RMR sight, okay? But a lot of guys that use these for competition will put a speed cut in it to loosen the retention. Because for a competition holster, it's not going to go through the same things that an average CCW holster is going to throughout the day, okay? So A speed cut is a great way to alter your holster because you don't need the same amount of retention. Now, thicknesses in material can affect retention. If you use a thinner material, it's going to flex more and allow that holster to move out of the way easier, causing less retention. Now, if you look over here, this is horsehide. This is as dense as it gets. When this stuff is molded, it's almost like plastic. This is cow. You can tell because it's got the suede rough side. This is bull and steer hide. This is actually very close to horse, but it's not quite as dense, so it allows a little easier molding and a little better dye penetration typically. So I have, I don't know, 2 different weights of horsehide, 4 different weights of bull and steer hide, 2 different weights of cowhide, and I can mix and match materials and weights of materials for different retentions, for different effects. So anyway, I hope that's been an informative video for you. If you have any questions or comments, post them down below. And again, let us know what you'd like to see in upcoming videos. We're going to start making videos probably once every 2 weeks. And we'd like some really solid content that's of interest to you guys. So anyway, thanks. See you later.